welcome to my channel. I'm Literary Lizzie, and today I'm going to be doing my November TBR. So the first book that I'm going to read this month is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. I am super excited to read this book. This is also the book that we will be reading for our book club this month. So if you are interested in joining us in reading this awesome science fantasy novel, then please join us. It's a children's book published in 1963, so it's a pretty old book. It's considered a classic, so I'm really interested in reading this because I hear it's about time travel and quantum physics and the fifth dimension, and that stuff just really interests me. So I can't wait to see how the author explains this type of stuff to its intended audience, children. So I think it'll be really fun to read and not at all boring, because I heard nothing but good things about this. It has a pretty high rating on Goodreads, so I think this will be a fun time. The next book that is on my list is The Tales of Beetle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. This cover is just so gorgeous, and I cannot wait to get into this book, to get into the Harry Potter world once again, because that is just my favorite place to be. This book includes 5 short fairy tales about the wizardry world. We saw this book in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows when Dumbledore gifted this book to Hermione. Of course, we are familiar with one of the stories about the 3 brothers, and I cannot wait to read the other 4 stories that are included in this book, because it's going to be completely new to me, and I can't wait to see or feel what Ron felt when he was a kid reading these stories, or when his mom read these stories to him. The next book that I'm going to read is Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. This is translated from the beautiful French language. It's about a little prince that leaves his home planet and travels the galaxy. He encounters grown-ups, and upon these interactions he gains insight, and I'm pretty sure learns lessons, I'm assuming. But this is a moral allegory. I borrowed this copy from my brother. He said it was really good, so I'm going off of that, and I also heard that it's a classic. The next book that I'm going to read is The Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan. This is the 3rd book to Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. I pre-ordered this book last month, and I am barely going to get to it this month. It's been on my TBR. Okay, so I have like so many books to read, and I really wanted to get to this book last month, but I just didn't have the time. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I put it on my TBR for this month, so it's gonna happen. I'm just really excited because I love Rick Riordan. So basically in this book we follow Magnus and his crew as they sail across the ocean to the farthest borders of 2 of the 9 realms in Norse mythology to stop Asgard's greatest threat, which is Ragnarok, which is the doom of the gods. So that sounds like an interesting premise, and I'm really excited to continue on with the series. The next book that I'm going to read is a pretty well-known book and well-loved book by many people who are fantasy readers. I'm going to read The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I am super excited to get into this book because it's about wizards, elves, dragons, and goblins, and that just is totally awesome, totally me. And we follow a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins as he traverses Middle-earth and goes on a bunch of adventures with a wizard, Gandalf. So totally looking forward to this book, and I feel kind of left out that I haven't read it yet, so totally gonna read this month. So the next book that I'm going to be reading is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. This book is about a bizarro London found under the streets of the actual London, so that whole dynamic is pretty interesting. And the inhabitants of this alternate London include monsters and angels, and also people that are considered saints or murderers. So the spectrum there is pretty, like, there's a wide gap there. So I'm interested to seeing what he does with this sort of premise, because I've heard like nothing but good things about Neil Gaiman's books, and I've never even read his works, so this will be my first Neil Gaiman book. So hopefully everything goes well. Then I'm going to be reading The Stand by Stephen King. This is a post-apocalyptic horror fantasy novel. It's the 6th book that Stephen King has published. It came out in 1978, and this book is about a virus that wipes out nearly the entire human population. That sounds totally fascinating and interesting, so I cannot wait to read this. And I just like how floppy this book is. So these are the books that I'll be reading this month, and I'll probably be adding more to the list as soon as I finish The Stand. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!